Hello. Okay. Yeah, guys. Welcome back to second episode on Swift. Swift streaming. Basically, like the first episode, I was gonna like do some introduction on the stuff we'll be building throughout the stream. The Swift project, and basically I'll be streaming live. While working on the project on Swift. And yeah, so we did the first stream yesterday, and this is the second stream today. And yeah, let's go get in with the coding path and start working on this. Let's resume this live preview. So we have the live preview on here, and basically yesterday we kind of like completed this whole interface. Um, So we completed this whole stuff, the header, the subtext, and the two button for the landing page. And so right now, what is remaining is the animation. So we go ahead and add animation to this stuff right here, and we progress to other pages. So that will be this page right here. But I think after adding animation, I might kind of like let's do a splash screen on it. So add a splash screen on the app. I think that would also make sense. Um, but we'll see how that looks like. So let's get on and start building this. So let's minimize this screen. And here is our Auth landing screen. Then we go straight. So we are not going to animate the image. So the image is off limit for animation. Let me see. Yeah, like I said, image is off limit for animation. So what we'll be animating is the heading, the subtext, the two buttons, and that will be it. So let's start creating. So first of all, we are going to make um, animate the top test. So that will be use a state variable to keep the state of the text. So we call that animated text, and that will be of type string, which is equal to an empty string at the moment. And what we could do, so this is the text we want to animate, right? So copy this, replace that with the animated text I created, and so over here in the self area, which is attached to the Z stack we view. So we want to um, get get hold of the unappear method, whereby in this unappear method, what we want to do is that when this view appears on the screen, so you want to start the animation. So inside our method, I'm going to add our code right in there. So right there, what we could do is have have the animated test we created. So that should be animated test. I would say that should be equal to this. And right below it, so we're going to animate this by actually kind of like adding this test to this animated test here, one after the other. So that would be the animation for it. So we're going to use enumerated dot for each. So inside in our for each, we get hold of the index, comma, and again the character, and we are saying inside in, which is basically the function, and we say dispatch. That will be dispatch queue. We use the dispatch queue dot main thread. We tap into the main thread, and we're going to use async. So it's async after. So it should start with dispatch. We call the dispatch of the main thread, but it has to wait after this deadline. And the deadline will be dot now plus have a double, create a new double. That will be for using the index of the particular character of the next character, or yeah, of the current character, not the next character. The index of the current character. We multiply that by 0.3 for the delay, so that there will be delay on each text that will train on the screen. And then after that, we go over to the execute part, and so this in here, I'm going to say animated text dot equals to written new string by adding those character, each character inside it. Go ahead and build this. Let's see if there's any issue we having. Okay, so let's go ahead and try this right here. Resume, and we can enter into click here, so you can see. Yeah, so this is it, and it's working as you need it. So yeah, that's it. Go back again, try the live preview. That's the animation we want to add. So we want the test to kind of like perform like a typewriter, and every single one of them will be added into the view at a time. So we can confirm that is working. And after that, what we want to do, so this is we're done with this animation right here, and we could work on this. This is the next one we're going to work on. And to work on this, let me see. So we're going to use opacity right in this one because I want to use this to kind of like fading. So I want to add a fading animation there. So I'm going to use opacity. So on top here, I will create a new state variable for our opacity, and it will start being 0. I will say add state. So add states. So be var keyword called as subtest opacity is equal to 0.0. That is it. Or we could actually add a type, but um, we can just leave it this way. Either we add a type like we did here, or we could leave it this way. But because this will immediately infer the type to be a double, so we could just leave it this way. And over here, you tap into the opacity property of this view, opacity, and that opacity will be the text we created, subtext opacity. Then tap into animation, and animation this one, not this one, animation this one. So the animation will be of type is in, that is in out. So let's try is in out. It's a duration, and duration is going to be 1 second, and the value we're going to be using up is the subtext opacity. That will be for the value, and we're going to start the animation on the on appear on this on appear here, and we're going to say subtext opacity should be plus equals to 1.0. So whenever this view appears on the screen, so we're going to add 1.0 to the subtext opacity, which should trigger this animation and start animating, and we start changing the opacity based on this value from the animation right here. So that's what we're going to do. So let's go and run this. So if you look, you'll see that working. So it showed up. Let's try that again. Go ahead and tap on that. You see this showing up. So that's it. Close this off again. So we succeeded in adding this animation to this test, and the next one will be for the button. So we have the button. So we're going to add for the button. We're going to add animation on the button right here, and let's see. So we're going to tap into there, and well, let's we want to animate for the button. I think we want to animate opacity of the button too. Yeah. So yeah, let's use the opacity right here. Let's create a variable like we have been doing right here for the button of opacity. So we're going to use add state right here, which is going to be a variable type. I will call that button says button one opacity, which is equals to start being 0.0. Even in that case, let's create another to hold the second button. Say button 2 opacity, and that should be 0.0. So that would be it. So let's go ahead and start using them on these two buttons right here. So this one, we'll tap into the opacity property. I'll call this button 2, and this will be button 1. And for both of them, we say animation, and they will be using is in out also animation type dot is in out duration. Let's say 2 seconds. Duration will be 2 seconds, and the value will be button 1. Right? We'll just copy this over to the next one and change. No. And we're going to add a delay also. So let's add a delay of, so use a delay property here. And the delay is going to be 0.2. And let's copy this again. Paste that right here. And this will be button 2. Okay. And the delay is going to be 0.4. Build this. Make sure that we don't have any issue or errors. What we could do down here, that we could set those button, the state variables we created, say plus equals to 1.0. So if you guys have been following me on Flutter tutorial, you see that it's kind of like more easier to implement animation in SwiftUI than Flutter. Kind of like it's easy to implement here than working on Flutter. So you have button 2, so say 1.0, and we go ahead and save this and check this out here. Let's see. go ahead and tap over here, and you see, and let's try that again. So you see the animation working. I see the opacity working on this and this and this. So I think that's it for the animation right here. And yeah, so I think our authentication landing page is done with. I think we should move over to adding splash screen. But I think for the app right here, I just want to show you guys how to add a splash screen, but we could kind of keep it because the app we have, come on, where is it? Doesn't this app doesn't have a splash screen? It just starts off like that, and so we could actually leave it this way, or we could add a splash screen, like I said. Let me go ahead and do that. So let's create a splash screen. And that will be inside our screens right here. In here, create a screen called, okay, and just over. No, not in new folder. Delete this. So it should be in here. Let's go ahead and add a file called as splash screen. Great. So the file is added here. And let's see what we have to do on that. Okay, think about that. So yeah, inside our splash screen view, so we go inside here. It will be a Z stack widget, a Z stack view. Start off with a Z stack. Enter the Z stack. We are going to have a circle, two circles, kind of like animating and growing when the because I've already taught out the animation and I did it somewhere. So I'm going to kind of like show you guys how to do it here too. See the kind of animation I'll be doing. So let's have a screen showing up here. Instead of this tag, I want to add a color, a full color that will be black. Color black. And tap into the edges, say ignore. So edges.ignore. That's all. So it will fill up everywhere, every part of the screen. And with that being added, so we go ahead down below it, so we're going to add a circle. Say circle dot frame. And we are going to be animating just the width. And the width will be using an animation property which we're going to create here, which is going to be a state of type circle 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 one animation. Circle one animation, which should start out being 0.0, and we're going to use that for the width here. And then we tap into So I will show you guys different ways. So let's try with this first circle and see how that looks first before doing the second circle. And we have dot foreground. The foreground will be white. And again, we have the offset. So we're going to tap the offset. Have the x and y axis. So the x will be 0 and the y axis will be 190. And that's it. And let me see if there's something else. Then we start off with animation. Tap into the animation property, which will be dot animation. The type of animation is going to be ease in. Dot ease in. The duration. So it's going to last for 2 seconds. And the value is going to use a circle 1 animation. And we're going to use that on our on appear here. Tap into the on appear. Tap into the perform. In here, we're going to say circle 1 animation plus equals to 700 for the width. That will be it. So let's go ahead and try this. So go ahead and I fix this error. Save that. Reload. So you can see. So let's try that. Let's see then how the animation works. So you see how the circle glows in to the screen. So let's try that again. So that's what we are looking for. So we want the circle to glow and fill up this part of the screen. You can do that one more time. I just like how the animation works. Cool. So that's good. So we go into the second circle. So we're going to create another circle over here. And right here, I'm going to create a state property of which is a variable called that. Copy this over. Let's change this to circle 2. Paste this. Call this circle 2. And now we can stop any issue we're having. And we go ahead after that being added. Copy this. So we don't want to create the circle from scratch. So what we could do is this and resume. So let's change the circle color so that we can see what that looks like first. And so changing the circle color, that should be over here. But the color we want to use is basically this color right here. And let me see. So these are assets. Inside there we have a color, which is this. So that's the color I'm going to use. I'm going to copy the name. I think that should be it. Okay, so no, this one, this is the color, not the one I copied. So this is the main color, not this. I just looked at the place I did that before. So this is our splash screen right here. So right here, we're going to create a new color. The column name should be this. So you see, the circle is on top of the previous one, but that's not what we want. So we want to move this to a different location in the screen. So to do that, we'll be making use of this y-axis because we want to move it along this y-axis. So we're going to use modify this y-axis. So to move it on along the top side, to move it up here is going to be minus. So minus 200. We take it to this place. Um, so let me use. So we're going to be minus 250 because that's what I used on the previous code. So that should be minus. Yeah, we got that working. So that should be this minus 250. And the animation is circle animation 2. That's what we use. Circle animation 2. Both has the same duration and yeah, that's it. So let's go ahead and test this out. Okay, before we do that, let's add the circle animation 2 here plus equals to 600. So select this and go ahead and okay, see and appear. So let's go ahead and test it out. So this is what we are looking for and it's working. So the animation is working and try one more time. Okay, just leave it that way. The next stuff we could do, so we would right now have these two animations showing up. Um, what we have to do since we want this to be yeah, one more stuff is to have we're going to add a Lottie animation in here. So we're using a Lottie animation, and I've downloaded that previously. Let me show you. So I have that downloaded on my system, Lottie animation. So this Lottie animation. I'll show you the file I used. So there's the one I use. So there's the Lottie animation I use. So you can go ahead and download that on your own. Just tapping on this, you just download it. Download it as a Lottie JSON. Yeah, that's what I downloaded it as. So that's it. And if you download it, since I downloaded it on my system, I'll show you how to use that um, in your app. So open this up. So right here, like I said, I downloaded it previously. So I show you somewhere. I think this is it. Yeah, this should be it. We are going to name it. Change the name to. Let me see what I named it. Or we could just leave the name this way. So just leave the name this way and create a Lottie file. No, a Lottie folder where our Lottie animation will be inside. So in our shared folder, we create a new folder called that Lottie. So let's call that Lottie. And in there, we're going to drag this Lottie animation and drop it in there. Let's drop it and finish. And that will be added right here as a Lottie animation. And that's not it. So one more thing we could do is to add, go over here, let's click right here. Go to our dependencies, package dependency. Right here, we add the Lottie. So yeah, Lottie iOS, select that. And the branch up to next major version. Could leave it there. Yeah, this one. And then we'll click add package and wait for it to add to our app, our folder. So we just add package and that will add this Lottie animation in here. So that's added. So we can make use of it. And so next thing we could do is to let's see what else we have to do here. So we're going to define a Lottie view using your UI representable. So we are going to go over to the component. So that's actually what you have to do. So you can't just start using the Lottie animation in here directly. So you have to kind of create a UI representable view of so that you can use that for your Lottie and then add it inside your Swift UI view. So that's how I found out people use it. So we could do that. So inside our component here, so we create a new Swift file, not use Swift UI view, but Swift file, and we are going to call that Lottie view, and in there we will just go ahead and start implementing what we want. Okay. Swift UI, and also import Lottie. And up there we're going to create a structure, and basically in Swift language ecosystem. So not only Swift, other languages uses it. So there's what we call structure and there's what we call classes. Both are two different stuff. So you can just research more about this, but it kind of like almost behave like a class. The structure almost behave like a class. So, but there's two different stuff. So let's go ahead and create a structure of type Lottie view. Of type UI representable, UI view representable, and in there create tab areas for the UI view goes to type. The type will be UI view, and the file name, which is the Lottie file we're going to be animating, showing here. So I use file name, and then we have completion function. This method will be called whenever the animation is done. Completion. So the reason why I added that function, so whenever the animation is done, we will know which screen to navigate to, and that's it. And let me copy some of the code over so we can speed up the development. Just copy something over. So so basically, this the code I copied over was for function for this make UIV function, and then the last one which is update UI view. Save those two. Let me see. So this should be fine. File name and save that and see if there's error. So there's no error. So we go ahead and start using this in our splash screen in here somewhere below here. So we just type Lottie view shows up, and right in there we're going to tap into the file name and completion function. So inside the file name, remember the file name will basically be this Lottie file here. This particular name for this Lottie file, that's what we are going to use. Okay, so I just copy it. Can hover over this rename and copy that file name because the same file name here, and paste it in here. So that's the Lottie file name we're going to be using. This animation here, and then the completion function. For now, we're just going to leave it this way, empty. That's it. Then let's add a width for the Lottie animation. And we're going to do that. You're going to use this frame property in your Swift view to add a width and a height to a view. We don't need the alignment part, just need the height and the width property. And we're going to set both of them to 300 by 300. And next one, I should be tapping into the clip shape. So we want it to be clipped. Use clip shape for that. We're going to the shape is going to be a circle. And next one will be shadow. A shadow. And we're going to add shadow color, which we're going to use orange. Radius, so radius is going to be 1. The shadow spreading radius. And then we are going to make this to be 0, 0. And then the offset, we want to position it in our screen. For now, let's try this out to see what this looks like. Let's see. So you can see the animation, and that's been positioned right here. Let's go ahead and position it a bit, move it a bit down. So you're going to use offset. We're going to tap into the X and Y property. On the X, just leave it at 0. On the Y, just use 20. And that will move it a bit down. So that's okay for us. So since that we added that, one more thing we could do, but because right now, if you look over here, you see, let's play this again. See, both the animation is appearing at the center. We don't want that. We want this rotating animation to show up after these two circles are done animating. So we want to show the Lottie animation here. But currently right now, it's kind of like showing at the same time, which is not what we want. And how to do that we are going to have a callback function attached to either of any of these circles animation. And let me see. So we are going to use a modifier. So let me create a modifier here. So the view modifier we are going to attach to any of these view circles, because all these are called views in SwiftUI. So we are going to use a view modifier to attach to this as a callback that will be monitoring the animation. When the animation is done, it will kind of like tell us the animation is done. Then we can show this one in the view. So let's do that. Inside our view modifier, we create a file called animation modifier. Oh no, so not this. So let's create a Swift UI. So called animation modifier. Click that, and there's it. And I'm going to copy a code over. So basically, that's all we need. Yeah, so basically, it's called animation completion observer modifier. So it will observe the value on our view on this where's it called again? On our splash screen view, second view here, and so animated modifier where value is a vector arithmetic, and it will notify us notification completion finish. Basically, what this is doing is to observe the animatable value of the animation and then tell us when the animation is done. And by using this function here, so that's basically all this stuff is doing. And we are adding the extension to a view. So we are extending our view, our Flutter, I'm saying Flutter, our Swift UI view. We're adding this extension there. And so this is the modifier we're adding to the view. So we could use this as a view modifier. So you have to do this after creating your view modifier here. So that's it. So you could just go ahead and use this in here on our circle animation. And I'm going to use that on the first circle, this one, second one. So I'm just going to say on animation completed. Remember the view modifier we created, which is this. So the value, so we want to add this for this value here, which is secure animation one, called as secure animation one. So completed completion method like this. So what we're going to say, we create another state variable here that's going to tell us when animation is completed. Say call that animation completed is equals to false. So it start out being false. Right here. So when the animation is completed and this function is called, we want to assign that animation completed to be equal to true. And then we could use that to show this on our view screen by saying if animation completed is true, we want to show this Lottie animation. Go ahead and view this. So let's test this out. So you see now it's working. So let's try that again. So these circles we've done animating, then you see the Lottie animation. So that's all we need, and it's working perfectly okay. So that we are good to go. And let's see one more. Another thing we want to do here. And how we could also add a test. I'm going to copy that over. So I'll be fast on this. So I'm going to add a test, and the test is going to be Bakery Paradise, and it's going to be animated. The opacity is going to be animated, and I'm going to create a test opacity. In here, it's going to be a state. Say test is var test opacity start being 0 0.0, and what we could do to use that is under here to increase that by saying is equals to plus equals to 1.0, and I'll save this and then check it out here. Let me so let's test it out here. Let's see. So I think we have an issue because this should be showing up on our screen, Bakery Paradise. That's our test, but it's not showing up. Um, Okay, yeah, there you go. So it's showing up now. So yeah, that's what we need. Let me put, we need to position this at the center, and we could just touch touch this side. Let's say let's increase it a bit. So yeah, I think it's now at the center. Let's see what else we need to do. So no, nothing else. So go ahead and save this and try it out again. So wait. So I have the animation showing. So this is it. I think we good to go. So that's complete. I don't think there's any other stuff we need to add in our splash screen. And so that's how I will need you guys to maybe kind of like on the comment section, tell me what you think. If you like, if you find Swift UI maybe more easy to work on, or Flutter, which one you find more easy to work with. But I like both of them. Just give me the I think not to know much difference there. Because sometimes I kind of like remember the same syntax on Flutter, and I kind of try to use it here, which kind of sometimes works. Almost the same name for the widgets, views, and all those stuff. So that's it. Let me. So what we could do is over here. So we could go to our content view. Right now we are adding just the Auth screen, but we still want to show the splash screen we created. Um, so we are going to create something. We are going to call that. So right here, Auth landing. So you're going to use an if statement right here. So we're going to use this if statement. So if with that over here, let's create a state variable. Keep track of if our animation, if the spark screen animation is done, maybe we could move over to the next screen or something like that. And state with a state var is go to go to main screen, the boolean tag, and it starts as being false. So that's it. And so we could say if it's good, so it's true. Then we could go to Auth screen, which is this, else, else we should go to splash screen, which is this. So that's it. And inside our splash screen, we are going to have a binding. Let's get a binding here that will let us know when the splash screen has finished. And we are going to create a binding. We call that binding, at binding for creating a binding variable. We call that is splash. So is splash done. Started being false. And right here, that should be where we're trying to do that. Um, we could do that inside our Lottie app. When Lottie animation is done, we could say is splash done equals to true. We assign that to be true. So because we're waiting when the Lottie animation is done, that means our splash screen is done with. Then we should move to the next screen. And this we added here. I see there's something else we need to fix. Okay. We could just over here say is splash. We're going to add content value, say false, right there. Go ahead and save that. Basically, I'm going to use that in our content view right here. So it's splash down. We use a state on it. So this we bind it to this, binding boolean to this, and this how to do that over here using this sign, and that's it. So right now we could go ahead and test this out. So let's go ahead and do this. You see, it's working. So immediately when the splash screen is done, it will take us um, to the Auth landing screen. So which is basically working. So let's try that in our in our screen here, in our simulator here. Go over and run this. So so that's it. I think we are done with the splash screen and the login and the log Auth landing screen. I think one more. Let me see what else we have to accomplish today. Okay. So I think let's try adding this. So whenever you click on this, it will take us to a new screen. So we are going to add that because right here, what we have for our design right here. So when you tap on this, it should take it to the login screen. So that's what we're going to do right now. And you tap this, it takes you back. Tapping on this takes you to the um what am I trying to say? Takes you to this create screen, create account screen, and you can tap back. So let's go and do this. Um, so we can hide. And that way, we're going to add that basically inside our Auth screen. So they should be inside our Auth screen. We're going to call that login screen. It's after SwiftUI view. Login. So basically call that login screen. So think our music wasn't playing. So, you guys just give me a moment. Just wanna add the background music back. I don't know why it stopped playing. Okay, yeah. I think it's playing right now. Okay. Okay, so right here, inside our login screen, I'm going to remove this. And we are going to have an H stack, because right here, so this is in a horizontal, actually in a horizontal stack, not a Z stack, so it's going to be a H stack. It's a H stack right here. In Flutter, we call that column. So basically, H stack is basically a column, and a Z stack is basically a stack. So there it is. This and inside the H stack. So the building block here is that these two at the top here is basically a row widget. So both of them are going to be inside the row widget, not a raw widget. I'm always calling this in Flutter. Well, not in Flutter. It's going to be a row view, which is going to be a V stack. Is it? Yeah, vertical. No. Okay, no. It's going to. This is going. The first one is going to be a V stack, and this one is going to be a H stack, which is horizontal stack. Yeah, where we are going to have an we're going to have a test here, and that's basically this particular test we have here. Let me go. So we're going to copy this test um, from our authentication auth landing page. I'm going to copy that into our login view. So this should be it. Change the test, add a new test in there, and that will be basically what we get down. So we can get our test from. So this will be our test. So use that in place of here. Go ahead and save that, and that's it for here. Let's go ahead and see what we're doing. So here we go. Oh, we don't need an offset. So keep it this way. And let's hook this up to splash the auth landing, which is this. We are going to wrap everything here in a navigation view. One, two, two. So copy this, wrap it in a navigation view. Then add everything back in again. Here we go. So this will help us for the navigation, and in here, inside our navigation right here, we're going to create a navigation link. You can add that inside our Z stack, at the top, with a navigation link, which has destination. Our destination will basically be our login view, login screen, and we have a tag. Is going to be login, and selection, add a selection property. Called let's see, selection property for selecting a login, because make it a state. It's going to be a type of state, which is a var. For the next screen, to be a string, optional strings that have been new, empty, and we are going to use it here as a binding for this data for the next screen. And it start out being an empty view, add an empty view there. And then right in our login, which should be this one, in the method, we are going to say next screen is equal to login, which will push us to the next screen in the stack. So that would be it. Let's see. So right now, if you go over here, let's test this out. And then you tap on this, takes you to this screen that we are trying to create, which is this one right here. Takes you to this screen. We are still trying to create that. And if you look, we don't need this back button. So we don't need this back button here. We're going to remove that. And then because that comes by default, and to remove that, to add a modifier to this login view, we are going to say navigation back button hidden. This one, we are going to set it to true. So right now, if you run this again, you see that will be hidden. Let's see, okay, and there we go. So we don't have that back button right now. We can find it back. So that's it. That's what we need. We want the screen to be empty like this with nothing else, since we'll be adding everything by ourselves. Um, could have this to show up here. So let's fix some issues. So right now we're having some issues whereby these are being moved towards to the right. There's too much space here, too much space here. So let's fix those issues. And that will be our auth here. Okay, reduce that to be 80. Right? And do the same for the test, for the two button. So sure it's 70. Yeah, I think that's okay. So do the same for the second one. And there we go. And lastly, we do the same for the test at the top. Just move it a bit. So the left side, try 30, 50. Okay, so we could leave it this way. I think that's good. We are good to go. And so if you tap on this, it will take us to the second screen, which we are working on right now. So this is it. Let's go ahead and build that out. And so we have this horizontal stack right here, where which we want to have this icon beside it. So let's see what we could do. I will use a button. So basically, I'm going to use a button that's going to be rounded in shape and add this icon or image at it. So let's have the button right here. So there we go. And for this, for now, I want to just say something. The label is going to be an image. We're going to use system let's try see which image we could get. Let's try a pencil. And so let's see if that shows up. Okay, that's showing up right here. And so we have that added. Let's say we're going to have chevron image. Okay, sorry, we're getting the names wrong. Screen. Remove the alignment. Okay, there we go. Okay, let's make it 60. 50 by 50. So we got that. Let's see how we could make the button rounded. I think we did that same stuff here. So that will be for the Auth button, where we added this corner radius to round it up, add a rounded corner to it, and we could do that same here. Same way. Where is it? Okay, login screen, which is this. Let's add a background color so we could be seeing where we're being. So here it is. Here we go. We'll just add a foreground color here. So we can see our image, which is this color, and let's see what else we need to do. Okay, yeah, we need to add a border around this circle, like what we have right here. So we need to add this border around right here in our circle. And okay, so I think we have gotten to some point today, and I think we'll be calling it a day for today. So right now we were able to implement all the way from landing page, from splash screen to Auth landing page, and then we got over to this screen, which we continue implementing today. Tomorrow, doing our next stream. So we're cutting it a day today. At this point in time. So guys, hopefully we continue this later on. That should be later on today. That will be tomorrow at your, I don't know. So yeah. So thank you guys for joining me. Thank you for being here. So yeah, it's almost past the streaming time. So see you guys tomorrow. We continue for where we start.